Welcome back. Now, the Department of Telecom has moved the Supreme Court seeking a restraint on the sale of spectrum by Reliance Communications to Reliance Jio. Remember, TDSAT had struck down the Telecom Department's demand of a 2,900 crore rupee bank guarantee to allow the sale. Now, here are the facts of the case. In seeking the SUC dues or the spectrum user charge dues, the DoT had sought a bank guarantee of 2,900 crore rupees, and that this was a condition for allowing the spectrum sale between the two sides, RCom on one hand and RGO on the other. TDSAT had struck down the DoT demand, and subsequent to that, what we understand is that the DoT has now moved the apex court. Now, why is it significant? Now, this is importantly for the lenders. As far as lenders are concerned, they're talking about outstanding dues of about 45,000 crore rupees. This deal, pegged at about 25,000 crore rupees, will bring some relief as far as lenders are concerned. Not just that, RCom also owes money to operational creditors such as Ericsson, and this is where it gets interesting. The Supreme Court has given a deadline of December 15th for RCom, come what may, to satisfy any outstanding dues as far as Ericsson are concerned. Both these parties had arrived at a settlement of 550 crore rupees, and that is by way of a Supreme Court order. So tough times away. We're expecting RCom to contest this appeal by the DoT before the apex court. With that, let's move on to action coming in from the Finance Ministry from the North Block. The government is planning to set aside 20,000 crore rupees as buffer for public sector banks. Sapna Das is joining us with the details. Sapna, what exactly is the centre's plan?
Well, we're clearly given to understand that an additional recapitalization amount of 20,000 crores may be required for public sector banks in the current financial itself. That is if the Reserve Bank of India continues with the current Basel III norms that they're talking about, and these Basel III norms have to be adopted by the entire banking sector by March 2019. Now, the government has a very clear view on this entire aspect. In fact, 23rd October, when the last board meeting happened, the main discussion had happened on this very point, had revolved around this very point. So, if you look at the global benchmark of the Basel III norms, RBI's norms are actually more stringent than that. The plea on the government side is very clear. If you bring the global benchmark into practice in India, that would basically reduce your capital requirement by around 1% of the risk-weighted assets of the public sector banks. Now, that translates or that could translate approximately into 60,000 crores. It's a big number that we're talking about, more than 0.3% of the GDP. What we are also clearly given to understand is that the next RBI board is going to take this matter forward again. But as a buffer, in case there is no unanimity between the government and the Reserve Bank of India on this particular issue, then a 20,000 crore buffer will be required in terms of additional recapitalization for PSBs in FY19.
Well, in earnings action now, Axis Bank surprised the street, beating expectations on most fronts. Asset quality improved with net NPA declining to 2.54% from 3% in the first quarter. Net profit is up by 82.6% to come in at around 790 crore rupees. Net interest income is also up by 15% to come in at over 5,200 crore rupees.
We've seen loan growth for the system pick up from the FY18 levels. While we haven't seen large private sector capex resume yet, we are clearly seeing greater activity resulting in banking sector loan growth, which we believe could remain in the region of 12 to 13% for this year. We're continuing to see steady improvement in the overall asset quality environment. You see that in our metrics for this quarter. All key metrics, whether it's slippage and new NPA formation, recoveries, credit costs, NPA ratios, all of them have seen a strong improvement during this quarter.
Well, on to the big political story that we're tracking. Congress President Rahul Gandhi has leveled fresh allegations on the Rafale deal. Gandhi has alleged that the French aircraft manufacturer Dassault had invested 284 crore rupees in Reliance Airport Developers Limited, and that Anil Ambani had later paid the same to buy land in Nagpur.
अनिल अंबानी की कंपनी में डैसोल्ट ने 284 करोड़ रुपए डाला और उसी पैसे से अनिल अंबानी ने जमीन खरीदी. मतलब साफ डैसोल्ट का सीईओ साफ झूठ बोल रहा है. 8 लाख रुपए की कंपनी में जो कुछ नहीं कर रही है, लॉस मेकिंग कंपनी है, उसमें 284 करोड़ रुपए डसॉल्ट ने क्यों डाले?
Well, time now for a short break, but coming up in our special series Election Exchange, we will bring to you an exclusive conversation from the battleground Chhattisgarh. Stay tuned.